Venom, what are you doing? Getting our wings!
Welcome to 5 Points of Articulation, where I review action figures and then articulate 5 points to help you decide if you want to add that figure to your collection. The 5 points I discuss are packaging, presentation, posability, playability, and price. I'm Jason, and if you enjoy my content, please like, share, subscribe, do all the YouTube rigmarole. Today, we're taking a look at the all-new Marvel Legends Spider-Man 60 Amazing Years Knull and Venom King in Black 2-pack. Starting off with the packaging, and it's one of those new and improved windowless boxes. King in Black logo down here, photo of Knull here, artwork of Knull here. Did I say photo? I really meant digital render. Up top, we can see that Spider-Man 60 Amazing Years logo. Down here, we can see him creeping. If you're curious though, here's the barcode. More digital renders on one side. I don't know if you can see on camera, but Amazon kinda mangled my box. Some pretty sweet artwork from the comics on the other side, and a rundown of what we're getting on the back. My opinion of these windowless boxes aside, a lot of you have been saying in the comments that if they were going to do this, they could have at least made them a bit fancier. After all, this is supposed to be Spider-Man's 60th anniversary celebration. Thinking back to what a great job they did on the MCU 10th anniversary, or the X-Men, or the Infinity Saga, and I'm kind of inclined to agree. But let's be honest, the point of this packaging wasn't to celebrate Spider-Man. It was to see if they could get us to buy it anyway. For packaging, I'm giving the King in Black half a point. Moving on to presentation, and Venom stands at 7 3/4 inches. Knull stands at 8 1/4. First things first, and Venom is mostly reuse of the movie version. Full disclosure, I don't have that one, but I can speak to what I'm pretty sure some of the major differences are. Naturally, the head's new. We've got Venom's signature teeth and waggly tongue. That's been cast in a bubblegum pink plastic. I'm gonna go ahead and guess that these portholes are new. We'll talk more about those during playability. What's nice about this sculpt is the oily, cracky skin that runs all over the body. Of course, one of the main things that sets comic book Venom apart from the movie version is his logo. It has the same thicker, three-dimensional paint that we saw with the animated series version. Flipping it around, and here's where it overlaps. It also overlaps here. I will say, for the most part, it's pretty crisp. That said, I do have one fairly obvious criticism. The bottom of the design is obscured by the reverse ab crunch. If you pull it back, you can see it, but Venom literally needs to be posed like this for that to happen. Is this a mistake, or is that by design? Why on earth would you not cut it off somewhere around the belly button? I guess if you push the abs back and the chest forward, it kind of works. Traveling down the arm, and he has white boxes on the backs of his hands. Strictly speaking, they should be more of a trapezoid shape. Should also have a black dot toward the bottom. That said, I really like these hands. And then traveling down the legs, he has some pretty funky bare feet. One thing he unfortunately doesn't have are peg holes. Moving over to Knull, and this is a 100% new sculpt. Of course, you can't miss the toothy grin. Kinda wish there was a wash or something in there to bring the detail out. Flipping him around, and we can see his flowy white hair. Wonderful cracks and dings in the armor. And speaking of dings, unfortunately, the logo has a little bit of paint chipping. If only there was some way I could have known. One thing I will say is that the armor does a pretty good job of hiding the articulation. His arms are very sinewy, and he has some bandages wrapped around them. He also has some ghoulish, claw-like hands. Flipping him around, we can see some more of that detail from the back. The belt is actually part of the top half of the torso, so you can see how the skirt moves. It's all nice and tattered, but luckily there's a slit in the side to accommodate articulation. Lots more sinew in the legs, and lots more dings and cracks in the boots. Those boots have very pointy toes, and unlike Venom, Knull has peg holes. Even though Venom's mainly a repaint, it's a repaint that a lot of people have been wanting. Now that I have him in hand, I can definitely see why. As for Knull, this is an all-around spectacular sculpt. I'm a bit bummed out about the paint chipping, but for presentation, I'm giving this 2-pack 1 whole point. Moving on to posability, and both figures' heads are on dumbbell joints. Thanks to the hair, Knull can't look up. He can, however, look down this far. Nice little tilt. Pretty sure he's got something at the base of the neck. And of course, he can look side to side. Despite not being encumbered by long, luxurious locks, Venom can't look up that much either. And although the gaping maw does get in the way, he can look down this far. Little bit of tilt. And all the way around. Both figures have swivel hinge shoulders, but Knull can only raise his arm this much. Venom, however, gets a little bit over 90 degrees. Both figures have bicep swivel. They also have double jointed elbows. Knull's, however, is pinless. And they both have swivel hinge wrists. fists. Shifting the torso, and each one has been approached differently. Knull has an ab crunch and a waist swivel. He can arch back this far, which is really impressive, and he can hunch forward this far, which given the armor isn't half bad. Again, he can also turn side to side. Venom, however, has a diaphragm joint and a reverse ab crunch. Using both, he can arch back this far and hunch forward this far. He can also tilt and twist. Below the waist, and both figures have ball jointed hips. Knull can only kick forward this far, but he can split this far. Venom, on the other hand, can kick forward this far and split this far. Traveling down the legs, both figures have thigh cut, double jointed knees. Again, Knulls are pinless, and Marvel Legends ankles that can hinge and pivot. Knull has all the points of articulation we'd expect and is about as posable as any other Marvel Legend. The combination of diaphragm joint and reverse ab crunch, however, brings Venom to a whole new level. For posability, I'm giving Venom and Knull 1 whole point. Moving on to playability, and Knull comes with all black the Necro Sword. Yes, that one. You'll notice, of course, that it's actually not, in fact, all black. It is pretty big, though. Lots of spindly red symbiote squiggles. He can hold the sword like so. Additionally, Knull comes with this more static head. To be honest, I think I actually might prefer this one. I like the gaunt, sunken-in cheeks, and the painted detail around the mouth really helps it to pop. As for Venom, in addition to his waggly tongue head, he also comes with this closed mouth one. Now that's a smile. Hello! Also, in addition to his open claw hands, he also comes with fists. Put 'em up, put 'em up, put 'em up. Of course, the real showstopper are his wings. In fact, you actually have to assemble them. Easily pops into place and are articulated. The peg has a swivel hinge, and hey, remember those portholes I said we'd come back to? They plug in there. I will warn you though, they do kind of fight you. And wow! Really nice leathery texture on those. Also a little bit of shading on the inside, which is appreciated. We can also see some tatters and holes around the edges. Balancing him is tricky, but not impossible. Giving him peg holes so you could use a figure stand would have gone a long way to help. Clearly though, it's not a deal breaker. But playability is more than just accessories, even accessories you love. It's also about how well your figures play with others. For a variety of Venoms of various sizes, and here we have this one from Series 1 of Spider-Man Classic, another Spider-Man Classic, this one from the Toy Biz Marvel Legends Fearsome Foes box set, Ultimate Venom by Marvel Select, Regular Everyday Venom by Marvel Select, the Marvel Legends Monster Venom, and the Retro Card Spider-Man Animated Series style cel-shaded one. For a couple 3 Carnages, and here we have Toy Biz, the Marvel Legends Venom Pool Wave Absolute Carnage, and Marvel Select, who's so big he knocked Venom over between takes. This segues nicely to some Spider-Mans. Here we have Renew Your Vows, Retro Card Peter Parker, the 60 Amazing Years Iron Spider, Ben Reilly, Game Reverse Miles, and Spider-Gwen. For some other Spider-Man villains, and here we have Shocker! Don't you know? Bum 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 bum. Something of a scientist myself. I am the Rhino! And Mysterio. Knull, of course, is a cosmic threat and has become a Thor-adjacent villain, so here's one of them. Here's the 80 Years version, and the all-new Controller Wave version. Here we have the Mighty Thor, and the Silver Surfer. He and Silver Surfer had an epic battle at the beginning of time which allowed life to spread throughout the universe. Lastly, here we have Gore the God Butcher from the movie. I have a sword for you. Does it come in black? For a relative scale comparison, here they are with Pizza Spidey and the Spectacular Spider-Man, and as always, Stealth Iron Man. The great thing about this Knull is that he can work in either your Spider-Man, Thor, or just general cosmic collections, and this Venom might just be the best one ever made. We'll settle that debate another time. Until then, for playability, I'm giving the King of Black 1 whole point. This leaves us with nothing left to discuss but the price. I got mine on Amazon for $73.99, but it retails for $78.99. I'm guessing that they're treating this like a 3-pack with the wings as a separate character, and not to keep harping on this, but a window box would have really gone a long way to show everybody the level of value that you're getting. For some perspective, the NECA Goliath was $37, and 2 of those would have been $74. Also, Knull is Build-A-Figure proportions, so it does make sense he'd be a bit more. Even so, with almost $80, you'd almost have to be a king to afford the King in Black. For price, I'm giving this 2-pack half a point for a grand total of 4 out of 5. Wonder what we have in here. See you in New York. For more Venom, click here. Or for the new Dark Herald of Galactus version of Thor, click here. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back again real soon, but until then, play nice and have fun.